The funeral was closed casket, but I just saw my sister buying groceries in Phoenix. My name is Rachel, and 8 years ago, I buried my little sister Emma. Or at least, I thought I did. What I'm about to tell you will make you question everything you think you know about family, grief, and the lengths people will go to escape their past. Let me take you back to March 15, 2016. I was 26, Emma was 22, and our family was finally getting back on track after years of chaos. See, Emma had always been the wild child. While I was studying for my nursing degree, she was dropping out of college, getting arrested for shoplifting, and dating guys who dealt drugs out of their cars. My parents, especially my dad, had reached their breaking point. The final straw came when Emma stole $2,000 from Mom's jewelry box to pay off some dealer named Marcus. Dad gave her an ultimatum that night: get clean, get help, or get out. Emma chose door number 3. She packed her beat-up Honda Civic and drove off into the rain, screaming that she never wanted to see any of us again. 3 days later, the Arizona State Police called. Emma's car had gone off Highway 60 during a flash flood. The vehicle was found wrapped around a tree, completely mangled. They said the impact was so severe, the body was, well, let's just say they recommended a closed casket funeral. Our family was destroyed. Dad blamed himself every single day. Mom started going to grief counseling and taking antidepressants. I threw myself into work, picking up extra shifts at the hospital just to avoid going home to the suffocating silence. For 8 years, we lived with this guilt, this regret, this hole in our family that could never be filled. But here's where it gets crazy. Last Tuesday, my college friend Jessica sent me a random photo from her vacation in Scottsdale. It was just a silly selfie of her at some trendy grocery store, making a face at the organic kale prices. I almost didn't look at it twice, but something in the background caught my eye. There, clear as day, was a woman with dark hair putting avocados in her cart. Same nose. Same chin. Same way of tilting her head when she was concentrating. It was Emma. My dead sister was buying groceries in Phoenix, Arizona. I stared at that photo for 3 hours straight. I zoomed in until the pixels were blurry. I convinced myself I was seeing things, that grief was making me hallucinate. But deep down, I knew. That was my sister. I couldn't sleep for days. How was this possible? We buried her. Well, we buried someone. The more I thought about it, the more questions started flooding my brain. Why was the casket closed? Why wouldn't they let us see the body? Why did they rush the funeral? I called Jessica and asked her exactly where she took that photo. Whole Foods on Camelback Road in Phoenix. I told my boss I had a family emergency and booked the next flight to Arizona. I know this sounds insane, but I had to know. I had to see for myself. I spent 2 days camped out in that Whole Foods parking lot like some kind of deranged private investigator. On the 3rd day, at exactly 3:47 p.m., she walked out. Same height, same walk, but with shoulder-length brown hair instead of her natural blonde. She was wearing yoga pants and a sweater that said Phoenix Community College. My heart was pounding so hard I thought I might pass out. I followed her to the parking lot, and when she got to her car, a silver Toyota Camry, I saw the license plate clearly: Sarah M. Sarah. My sister Emma was now Sarah. I followed her home to a small apartment complex called Desert Springs. Unit 214. I sat in my rental car for another hour, just staring at her door, trying to work up the courage to knock. What do you even say in a situation like this? Hey, remember me? Your family thinks you're dead. Finally, I walked up those stairs and knocked. When the door opened, Emma, or Sarah, went completely white. For a moment, we just stared at each other. Then she whispered, "Rachel?" "Oh my God, Rachel, how did you can't be here." "Can't be here?" I said. Emma, we buried you. We had a funeral. Dad cries at your grave every Sunday. Mom keeps your room exactly the same. How are you alive? She pulled me inside quickly, looking around like someone might see us. Her apartment was tiny but neat. There were textbooks everywhere. She was studying to be a dental hygienist. On her coffee table was a photo of her with some guy, both of them smiling at a baseball game. She had built an entire life. You have to understand, she said, her voice shaking. I didn't mean for it to happen like this. The accident was real, Rachel. I really did crash my car. But when I woke up in the hospital, this nurse told me everyone thought I was dead. There was another girl in a car that went off the same bridge that night. She didn't make it. The cars were so mangled, they mixed up our identities. So you just let us think you were dead? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Do you have any idea what this did to our family? Dad hasn't been the same. Mom barely leaves the house. We all blame ourselves for pushing you away. Emma started crying. I know, but Rachel, I was so messed up back then. The drugs, the debt, Marcus and his friends were looking for me. They said they'd hurt you guys if I didn't pay them back. When I realized everyone thought I was dead, it felt like a gift. A chance to start over without putting any of you in danger. But 8 years, Emma. 8 years of us grieving. I was so angry, but also relieved, but also heartbroken all at once. You could have called. You could have found another way. I wanted to, she sobbed. Every single day. But the longer I waited, the harder it got. How do you come back from the dead? How do you explain that level of selfishness? We talked for hours. Emma, she still wanted me to call her Sarah, told me about her new life. She'd been clean for 7 years. She had a boyfriend named David who thought her family died in a car accident. She was 6 months away from graduating with her dental hygienist degree. She volunteered at an animal shelter on weekends. She'd become the person we always hoped she could be. But it was built on our pain, our grief, our guilt. The hardest part? She begged me not to tell Mom and Dad. They've found peace, she said. Dad's not drinking anymore. Mom started that support group for other parents. If I come back now, it'll destroy everything they've rebuilt. I flew home with the weight of the world on my shoulders. Do I tell my parents their daughter is alive and shatter the fragile peace they've found? Or do I carry this secret and let them continue living a lie? I'm still deciding. Emma gave me her phone number and said the choice was mine. She'd understand either way. Part of me thinks everyone deserves the truth. But another part of me wonders if some secrets are kept to protect the people we love. What would you do? Would you reunite a family built on a lie, or protect the healing that came from that lie? Let me know in the comments below, and if this story moved you, please subscribe for more real-life family mysteries that'll keep you up at night. Because sometimes, the people we think we know best are the ones hiding the biggest secrets of all.